What if you woke up one day and knew, with absolute certainty, that you had lived before? This is not a question from a science fiction movie. It is a story that unfolded in the heart of Delhi, India, nearly a century ago. It began with the birth of a seemingly ordinary girl named Shanti Devi on December 11, 1926. She was born into a simple family living a quiet life in a bustling city. For the first few years of her life, there was nothing to suggest she was any different from the other children in her neighborhood. She was quiet, perhaps a bit withdrawn, but her world was small and familiar. No one could have predicted the extraordinary claims she was about to make. As Shanti Devi reached the age of 4, a profound change began. She started speaking. But the words she spoke were not about the world around her. They were fragments of another place. She spoke of a town she called Mathura, a place she had never been. She described a life that was not her own, insisting that her real name was not Shanti, but Lugdi Devi. She told her bewildered parents that they were not her true family. Her real family, she claimed, was waiting for her in Mathura. She longed for her husband. She longed for her son, painting vivid pictures of a life she insisted she had left behind. Her parents, understandably, were concerned. They thought it was just a child's fantasy. But her stories did not fade. They grew more detailed, more insistent with each passing day. Shanti described her husband, a merchant named Kedar Nath Chaubey. She spoke of his shop located right in front of the Dwarkadish temple in Mathura. She could even describe his appearance, noting that he had a prominent wart on his left cheek and wore reading glasses. She recalled the layout of their home, the color of its walls, the specific location of a well in their courtyard. Her parents grew increasingly perplexed, unsure of what to believe. Shanti also remembered the end of that life. She spoke of a difficult childbirth, a son she had held only briefly. She remembered the complications that followed, the surgery that was meant to save her, and dying on the operating table. She claimed that just 10 days after her son was born, her life as Lugdi Devi had ended. Lugdi Devi, she said, had died in October 1925. Shanti Devi was born just over a year later, in December 1926. The connection was too specific to ignore. One man, a granduncle of Shanti, decided to investigate. He wrote a letter detailing the young girl's claims. He addressed it simply to Kedar Nath Chaubey, a merchant in Mathura. It was a shot in the dark. He posted the letter and then waited for a reply. A man named Kedar Nath Chaubey did exist in Mathura. He was a merchant, and he had indeed lost his wife, Lugdi Devi, in 1925. Stunned by the letter's contents, Kedar Nath wrote back confirming the tragic story. He suggested sending a relative to Delhi to meet the girl and verify her claims firsthand. A cousin of his, Kanji Lal, was dispatched to the Devi household. He was a skeptic, intending to expose what he believed must be a clever hoax. Upon meeting Shanti, Kanji Lal pretended to be Kedar Nath, her supposed husband. She looked at him and immediately stated that he was not her husband but his cousin. Kedar Nath, now convinced, traveled to Delhi himself, with his son, Navneet Lal. When he arrived at Shanti's home, she recognized him instantly from a crowd of people. She was overwhelmed with emotion, acting not like a child meeting a stranger, but like a wife reunited with her long-lost husband. When she saw the young boy, Navneet, she embraced him with a mother's love, tears streaming down her face. Her reaction was so powerful, so genuine, that it moved everyone who witnessed it. The story was no longer a private family matter, it was becoming a national phenomenon, including one of its most revered figures, Mahatma Gandhi. Intrigued, Gandhi met the young girl and helped assemble a special committee of 15 prominent individuals. This group included members of parliament, national leaders, and respected journalists. Their mission was simple but profound: to travel with Shanti Devi to Mathura and witness whether her memories matched reality. In November 1935, the committee, along with Shanti and her parents, boarded a train for Mathura. As the train approached the city, Shanti pointed out landmarks she claimed to remember long before others saw them. Upon arrival, a large crowd had gathered at Mathura station. The committee watched closely as they led Shanti through unfamiliar streets. They intentionally tried to mislead her, taking different routes to test her knowledge. But Shanti was not confused. She confidently corrected the driver and gave precise directions to her former home. At the house, she correctly identified former family members, calling them by their proper relational names, aunt, brother-in-law, and walked straight to the house she described from memory.